Students, welcome to Dr. Sourav Sir Classes, and today we are solving ISI MSQE paper 2025, and here we are having PEB question number 2. So let's see how we can solve this. We are being given an economy consists of two agents, 1 and 2, and an initial endowment of rupees 100 is being done. A decision has to be made regarding the building of a bridge. D is equal to 1 if the bridge is built and D is 0 if it is not. Then the bridge cost is 60. So here we can state that if the bridge is built, so then D is equal to 1. So remaining rupees 40 is distributed. Okay, that is x1 plus x2 is 40, and each agent's utility is VID plus XI. This is when the bridge is built. But suppose the bridge is not built. If the bridge is not built, then D is equal to 0. So full rupees 100 distributed. That is x1 plus x2 is 100. Okay. So then what is the utility? So what happens with the utility? Utility becomes equal to xi. Okay. So here we will denote from this thing. Agent 1 valuation is what? We have to find out this tree question. So now agent 1's valuation is V1 greater than equals to 0. Agent 2's valuation V2 greater than equals to 0. And what is decision variable? That is D implies 0, 1. Okay. So now the total utility, the total social welfare. So the total utility is U D x1 x2 is V1D plus x1 plus V2D plus x2. So we will frame V1 plus V2D plus x1 plus x2. Okay. So now depending on the value of D, now depending on the value of D, if D is 1, then x1 plus x2 will be 40. Okay. So total utility is how much? V1 plus V2 plus 40. Okay. Now if D is 0, then x1 plus x2 is 100. So total utility will be 100. So now the bridge decision rule, that is we will compare the two total utilities. So set D is 1. Correct. If V1 plus V2 plus 40 is greater than equals to 100, or V1 plus V2 is greater than equal to 60. Okay. if we do not build the bridge? Suppose we do not build the bridge. That is D is equal to 0. So then V1 plus V2 will be less than 60. So this gives a clear-cut efficient decision that build the bridge if and only if the total valuation of both agents is at least rupees 60. So the decision, if we do like chart, then it will be better for us to understand. So decision, budget, left, condition, and the agent utility. So if D is 1, then budget left is rupees 40. So condition V1 plus V2 greater than equals to 60. So agent utility will be Vi plus Xi. Okay, and if D is 0, then budget left is 100, then V1 plus V2 is less than 60, then it is Xi. Okay, so now the first question, suppose it is 25 and 45, then is the allocation Pareto efficient? We have to justify the answer. Okay, so here we are being given, we have to, first we are given V1 equal to 25, V2 equal to 45 and the allocation being this. Okay, so here we will compute the utility under the given allocation. So since D is 0 means bridge not built. Okay, so the utilities will be U1 equal to X1 equal to 40 and U2 equal to X2 is equal to 60. Okay, now let's evaluate total valuation. Like we have to check whether the bridge should be built, correct? That is the question. So V1 plus V2 is 25 plus 45, that is 70 greater than 60. Okay, so the socially efficient decision is to build the bridge, that is D is equal to 1 because the total value exceeds the cost. Now can we find a Pareto improvement? Because here it is written that is the allocation, so we have to justify our answer. Now suppose we build the bridge, that is setting D is equal to 1 and distribute the remaining rupees 40 as with x1 plus x2 as 40. So then what are my new utilities? So my new utilities are plus x1, that is 25 plus x1. Okay, so we want to find whether we can make both agents strictly better off. So we'll compare with the original outcome, like u1 was 40 and u2 was 60. Okay, now we ask, can we find x1 bar plus x2 bar is equal to 40 such that 25 plus x1 bar is greater than 40 and 45 plus x2 bar is greater than 60. So we need what? We need x1 bar greater than 15 x2 bar greater than 15 or x1 plus x2 bar greater than 30. Okay, but since we know what? We know this, it's possible. How? For example, let this and this. Okay, so then that is how much? Which is greater than 40 and which is greater than 60. So both agents. So my answer is no. The allocation D equal to is not Pareto efficient since the total valuation of the breach, the total valuation of the breach rupees 70 exceeds the cost rupees 60. Building the breach and redistributing the remaining rupees 40 can make both agents strictly better off, which constitutes a Pareto improvement. Okay, so this is your first answer. Now coming to the second point. Now suppose V1 is 25 and V2 is 45. So is the allocation Pareto efficient? We have to justify the answer. Okay. So let's evaluate each options. So here we are being given since, so agent utilities in the given allocation. Okay. So here since D is equal to 0. So bridge is not built. Correct. So and agent utilities are what? X1 being 70 and X2 being 30. Okay. So now check if bridge should be built. Again, we have to check efficient decision. So total valuation will be V1 plus V2. That is 25 plus 45. So that is 70. Now what I know? What is my bridge cost? Bridge cost is 60. Now since 70 is greater than 60, so building the bridge is efficient. Why? Because D is 1 is better in total. Okay. So now we will check for Pareto improvement. So checking for Pareto improvement. Okay. So if we build the bridge D is equal to 1. So remaining 40 to distribute such as x1 bar plus x2 bar is equal to 40. Correct? So then the new will be new utilities u1 bar is equals to 25 plus x1 bar and u2 bar is equals to 45 plus x2 bar. We want to check that can we make both agents strictly better off. That we have to check. So compare with the current. So comparing with current, U1 is 70 and U2 is 30. Okay. So we need 25 plus x1 bar greater than 70 or x1 greater than 45 and 45 plus x2 bar greater than 30. So x2 bar is greater than minus 15, which is always true. But total available is how much? That we have to remember, x1 bar plus x2 bar is 40. So if x1 bar is greater than 45 and x2 bar is less than minus 5, then which is not allowed? Why? Since x2 bar is greater than equals to 0. So we cannot give agent 1 more than 45. Hence cannot reach utility greater than 70. Therefore, no way to improve agents 1 utility beyond 70. And only rupees 40 left. So, but can we improve agent 2 utility? Yes. Why? We stay with D. Okay. And we keep total x1 plus x2 equals to 100. And we switch from 70-30 to 69-31. Okay. So, then U1 is 69, which is less than 70, which is what, sir, for agent 1? So, not a Pareto improvement. Okay. If we try like D is equals to 1, x1 bar is equal to 40, x2 bar equal to 0, then U1 bar is 25 plus 40, that is 65 less than 70, still watts. So yes, allocation is Pareto efficient, because although building the bridge is socially efficient, that is total valuation coming what, 70, which is greater than 60. Any alternative allocation that includes building the bridge would make agent 1 worse off, because utility is greater than 70. So since no other allocation can make at least 1% better off without making the other, so the allocation is Pareto efficient. That's why. Now finally coming to the third part of this question. But we have to show that this allocation is Pareto efficient or not. So then, assuming that suppose D is equal to 1, x1, x2 is Pareto efficient, but V1 plus V2 is less than 60. So what is D equal to 1 means? Bridge is built, that is rupees 60 is spent. Now remaining rupees 40 is distributed, that is x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. So utilities are u1 is equal to v1 plus x1 and u2 is v2 plus x2. Okay, so total utility is what? Total utility is u1 plus u2, that is v1 plus v2 plus x1 plus x2. So that is v1 plus v2 plus 40. From here we have written x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. So now consider bridge not built. That means D is 0. So bridge not built means full 100 is distributed. So x1 bar is u1 and x2 bar is u2 and total available is 100. So we can try reallocating. X1 bar is equal to v1 plus x1 minus and x2 bar is v2 plus x2 plus. So for small, so such that x1 plus x2 is v1 plus x1 plus v2 plus x2. Okay, so then v1 plus v2 plus 40 is less than equal to 100. Why? Because we assumed v1 plus v2 less than 60. Okay, so therefore